the Fox Business Network, and CNBC. You can hear Bill Gunderson's daily insight into the market at 7 a.m. weekdays, right here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
This is 1050 AM, KCAA Loma Linda, and 106.5 FM, Yucaipa.
CNBC Radio. Wall Street tries to put together its third winning day in a row. Futures do point to a higher open. The Dow is now just 400 points away from break-even this year. Consumer spending rose 3% last month. A lot of that money went toward Nike shoes and apparel. Profits up 20% last quarter. Future orders up 20%, and the stock will be a hot seller today, although it won't rise 20%. A few minutes ago, ride-sharing service Lyft began picking up passengers at the Los Angeles International Airport. Rival Uber still can't pick up travelers there at LAX. This will be one of the busiest days for travel at airports nationwide. They all advise passengers to arrive at least 2 hours early today. And gift cards will be more popular than ever as a Christmas gift this year. While Starbucks expects to sell a record number of its cards tomorrow, it's not the most popular. CardHub says the top gift card this year will be Visa, followed by Amazon and American Express. Chuck Kamlick, CNBC Radio.
When I think of all the great deals I could get at Happy Honda Days, it's like,
I'm a beautiful princess, so I'm in my chariot so I can arrive at the ball in style.
Then I hear it's a KBB.com best value brand, and I'm all,
A princess still appreciates a good deal when she gets one.
Joyous deals for every side of you. Hurry into the Happy Honda Day sales event now. Well-qualified buyers can get 0.9% APR on the 2016 Odyssey at your Honda dealer.
Based on 2015 Brand Image Awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information. See dealer for financing details.
If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish and see what real value is. Call 877-319-6988. You can also save a bundle when you combine DishNet high-speed internet with your TV service. Call 877-319-6988. Programming starting as little as $29.99, plus access to thousands of movies and TV shows. Stream to your TV, smartphone, or tablet. Call 877-319-6988. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get Dish today.
BuySellMakeOffer.com is our New Year's gift to you. Circle this date, Friday, January 15th. You're invited to start the new year off right with a subscription to BuySellMakeOffer.com. Some other selling sites can be sketchy, and even others will charge you a fee on every item you list. But with BuySellMakeOffer.com, you can sell your washer, dryer, cars, or even your home with no per-item fees. And you can use Skype, make a video. You can actually see the person you're buying from, or they can see you, all to better sell your product. Wouldn't you like a feeling of security when you buy or sell? That's why we call it BuySellMakeOffer.com. And you don't have to wait until January 15th to find out what the buzz is all about. Go right now to BuySellMakeOffer.com and type in your email address so you'll know exactly when the fun will begin. The first 30 days are on us, and then it's as little as $7.95 per month to sell up to 50 items. Join the revolution in online selling with BuySellMakeOffer.com.
KCAA, AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker. In Corona, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between the 15 and Auto Center/Service Club Drive. The 91 west is slow from the 15 to Service Club. In Chino, slow traffic on the 60 westbound between Ramona Avenue and the 57 Orange Freeway. The 60 west is slow from Ramona to the 57. In Riverside, an accident. The left lane is blocked on the 215 northbound at Central. A wreck has been moved to the right shoulder. The drive is slow from Alessandro. And finally, all the way down in San Diego, the 15 south at Rainbow Valley, the off-ramp is blocked by a big rig that broke down. This has been your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker.
With your Wednesday news, I'm Jim Miller. CNBC News, KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listener behind. Two more lawsuits totaling 21 plaintiffs alleging systematic abuse to the hands of San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies at the West Valley Detention Center in Rancho Cucamonga have been filed in federal court in Riverside. Victorville attorneys Stanley Hodge, Jim Terrell, and Sharon Brunner filed the lawsuits December 10. One lawsuit names inmate David Smith, charged with first-degree murder in the 2008 execution-style slayings of a teen couple and an abandoned Air Force bunker near Barstow as the sole plaintiff. The other lawsuit lists 20 inmates as plaintiffs. Two of San Bernardino's top officials were at Staples Center in Los Angeles last night. They took part in a ceremony on the ice as the Kings battled the San Jose Sharks. San Bernardino Mayor Kerry Davis and Police Chief Jared Bergwan were highlighted as part of our Heroes of the Game salute on the ice prior to the national anthem. Holiday travel this year. Millions of Southern Californians will be on the move between now and January 4. Record-breaking 7.6 million Southern Californians traveling 50 miles or more, the largest number of local holiday travelers this century. This marks the 7th consecutive year of growth for end-of-year holiday travel. And some changes in the city manager's office coming. The city council approving Police Chief Jared Bergwan's temporary appointment as interim city manager. He succeeds Alan Parker, who's resigning effective December 31st and taking a year's severance pay. Chief Bergwan's tenure as interim city manager will last only until February 8th, when Mark Scott takes over under a one-year contract approved by the city council. That's your news. I'm Jim Miller, CNBC, KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, your troubles will be out of sight.
I'm sorry, I'm just enjoying this song.
Oh, I love this song.
I love this song. Good morning, I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. Got to say good morning to Brandon in the booth. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. He just has a voice. You picked a good one this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
I sort of just got lucky because I was looking through a pop Christmas list and I'm just like, I have to choose one. Go.
No, it's very nice. I mean, it's dreamy. I mean, it's got this kind of dreamy quality.
It does.
It's really, I really like it. So it's almost Christmas. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And then Christmas Day. And at this time of year, it's always fun to think about what's happened in the last, in the last 6 months, last 8 months, last year, and think about, did things turn out the way you wanted? And you do this around Christmas until New Year's Day.
See, now you got a little bit ahead of me. I'm not quite on that retrospective, looking back kind of moment yet. I'm just really enjoying the warmth of having the family around and just sort of trying to be right in the moment right now.
Yes.
And I think like that week between Christmas and New Year's is, after the family's gone and the gifts have been opened and all that excitement is over, that's when my heart and my mind kind of turn back and look at the year and say, where have I been? What have I done?
Right.
So I'm not quite with you yet.
You're not quite there?
Not quite there.
Well, I need to be more mindful. Christmas is still ahead of us. We've just had so much fun. We saw Star Wars yesterday.
Yes, we did.
Oh, my gosh, it did not disappoint. It was so good. It was so good. If y'all haven't seen it, get out there and see it. And the theater was not overly packed. It went to a matinee.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, you can find a good seat now.
I have to say that I am so thankful for all my wonderful friends online who did not spoil it for me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's a great movie, and there's so many things you'd want to talk about and share with people, but so many people have been considerate online, and obviously we're going to be considerate here on the radio.
Yes.
We're not going to spoil it for folks, but that's hard to do when you get a big movie like this. Everyone wants to blast out, this is what happened.
What we could do is we could make stuff up.
No.
Like the whole race of the Jar Jar Binks or whatever he was, they all died in the movie.
Destroyed. Everyone.
Destroyed.
Every last one of them was really dark.
And that's why it's such a hot movie, because everyone wants to see the Jar Jars of the world blowing up. No, but no, seriously.
I'm just kidding. That did not happen.
But seriously though, people have been so considerate of this. I haven't seen that with other movies. Usually, people just want to rush out and blurt out all the little plot twists and turns, and people have just been really cool about not doing that. Realizing
that this is a movie that we've been waiting for.
Yes.
And I said it before. The last, the first. So for those of us who were children in the 70s, as I was, the first three movies, I know they're episodes 4, 5, and 6, but those are the first three movies. Now, our son, of course, is a generation younger, and he would say the first three movies are episodes 1, 2, and 3, even though they were made later.
Yeah.
So episode 1, 2, and 3 were just disappointing to me.
Yeah.
I mean, terribly disappointing. The person, Hayden Christensen, I'm sure he's a great guy, but he was miscast.
Yeah.
As Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So this was a treat. It really, really was a treat. Love this movie.
Yeah, they did a fabulous job, and I'm certain. I have a strong feeling. The Force is strong in me that I will be going back to see this movie again, because
not without me, you won't.
Yeah, and not without you. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, because there's just so much in it that you see it the first time, you think about it, and then you want to go back and look for the other stuff because you're just so lost in the moment. It's just such a good movie.
And it kept you going.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a draggy, slow movie at all.
Yeah.
It was good. You got to go see it.
Yeah.
Have you seen it yet, Brandon?
Oh, I'm actually not going to see it until January. The last possible day that it's on in the RPX at 11 a.m. I'm going to see it.
But
I
got to
see
tell
it alone.
you, there were lots and lots of empty seats yesterday.
Really?
Yes, lots of. Now, people were still at work yesterday. If you go today, a lot of people are still at work today. Go to the first show. But as soon as you get off work, go across the street and watch it.
That's something I've noticed. If you go to the earliest showing, it's usually you're alone.
And I'll share with you too that the RPX, we saw the RPX 3D experience.
Oh, it was good.
And it costs more. They actually have up on the sign there's an extra surcharge for the RPX and the 3D, so the tickets are more expensive. And I actually saw a family in front of us in line asking about the prices and then choosing to go to see it just in the regular theater. And I think that it got priced out. I mean, the family of four, you added
because it's an extra $4.
Well, it was $4 for the RPX and $3 for the 3D, so it was $7 total per ticket. So I mean,
plus
add
the
that
$6.50 for the matinee.
So you add that up for family of four, and suddenly you're looking at a $40-$50 movie experience for the family. And the dad said, no, we're going to spend the $20 and go see it in the.
Yeah, I remember that. And it's been like that for a while. I remember probably 7-8 years ago, my dad ended up spending $100 at the theater one Christmas, and he was like, "We're never doing this again."
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
it's easy to do. You buy popcorn and drinks, and a little container of dibs or something, whatever it is that you like. You could Those are expensive.
Yeah, but I think part of the reason the theater we were in was not as full was just because of the price. I mean, I think people were, the economy's rebounded, but I still feel like in our area here, people are still making, they're very price conscious, and so they wanted to see the movie, but if they could see it and not have to pay an extra $7 per person, well, guess what? Save the money.
Yeah, it was good. I highly recommend it.
And if I was taking a bunch of friends and I had to pay for it, I wouldn't pay for the RPX. So.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, it's true. It's true. Everybody can everybody needs to cover their own. So it was funny because we had eaten. We'd gone out to lunch, which we don't do very often anymore. So we got out to lunch and we'd filled up, and then we went to the movie about an hour and a half later. Our son, who also went to lunch with us, still got the dibs and the barrel full of soda and I'm like, dude, are you really hungry?
He's got an empty leg, Aaron. I told you. He's 20 years old.
6'3".
The kid eats until it's time to eat again.
And then he eats again.
That's right.
All
it's
right.
a continual process.
So there's lots of news to talk about. We want to stay in the Christmas cheer, but there are things that we have to talk about, things that are going on in and around where we are. The new police chief the new city manager in San Bernardino
has been announced.
And Tobin, you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So appears we're going to be getting a guy by the name of Mark Scott, and he was chosen at Monday's city council meeting. It was a unanimous vote. He was Burbank's city manager, and so he can't join us until February. And so in the interim, Police Chief Jared Burguan, who did a fabulous job during this recent terrorist attack, will be the interim city manager. So he'll be, for just those 2 months, Burguan will be running the police department and the city.
That's a big job.
A big job, but he's a big guy. I mean, he can handle it,
Right.
I think people are very confident that he's going to do just fine. And so Burbank City Manager Mark Scott's contract is not yet available for review. Deputy City Attorney Jolena Greider said that he was given a 1-year contract that for $248,000, and there's a 30-day notice to terminate, and he gets the same benefits as other management confidential members of the bargaining group. Now, that's $19,000 more per year than our previous city manager, Alan Parker, had been making, but it's about $40,000 less than what Scott was making in his Burbank salary. Now, he actually announced his resignation back in November, and there was a little bit of a drama about how this guy resigned. Apparently, there was a vote in Burbank that he wanted them to hire somebody, and the city council voted to hire somebody else, and he basically put down a marker and said, if you don't hire the guy I want, I'm going to quit. And they didn't do what he asked, and so he said, well, you know what? If you're not going to follow my directions as the city manager and let me have the staff that I want, I'm going to leave. And so he put in his resignation, and he's still in Burbank until February. There was one little sort of interesting political glitch at the meeting. At our meeting here in San Bernardino, Councilman John Valdivia proposed removing housing assistance from Scott's compensation. But when City Attorney Gary Sines said that it would be very helpful to keep it in because relocation for a year can become expensive, and you want to have a city manager who lives in the city. That way they know what the city's issues are. And then, of course, no other council person supported Valdivia's idea. So then Valdivia removed it and then went ahead and voted unanimously with everyone else to hire the guy.
Which is rare for this council.
Yeah.
To vote unanimously.
It is.
So this is great. I mean, the money doesn't really bother me as long as he's effective. And I hope the difference between I don't know if Burbank has a charter, but I know that they don't have a charter like ours. Yeah. And so one of the problems that we've talked about this on the show with the city of San Bernardino and why they've had difficulties is the nature of this ridiculous charter that has overlapping responsibilities and that sort of thing. And so, there are power struggles that naturally go on. Now,
I'm interested in this. The article in the Sun newspaper doesn't talk about this. I'm interested to know how this guy sort of got in the hopper for this position. Because literally, it's not been but a month maybe since we learned that Alan Parker was going to leave. And typically, a search process takes much longer than this. And, you actually hear about a variety of candidates that are being considered and a process that sort of, weeds them down to the finalists. And then there's, and I've been through that process a couple of times when I was on the city council. And so this happened very quickly. And I'm just interested to know how they came with this guy. How was he the one that was selected?
Well, I am sure that information will bubble out as we move forward. 6:17, it's time for a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050 and FM 106.5. We'll be right back.
Listen to KCAA Loma Linda for less confrontation and more information.
For those of you traveling by air to celebrate this holiday season, LA Ontario International Airport wants you and your family to have a fun and safe trip. For your convenience,
remember TSA travel rules are for your safety and those of others. LA Ontario International Airport reminds you to arrive early and check with your airlines for flight delays or cancellations.
ONT offers 62 daily flights to 15 nonstop western cities. This year, Santa brings your airport the Pause Pet Assisting with Smiles stress relief program. So, make sure to stop and pause a while, then sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight. For more airport information, please visit us at lawa.org.
As the owner of my business, I wear a lot of hats. I'm accounting, sales, and so much more. But I don't know marketing.
Let Dex Media be your marketing department. Our team can create a digital plan for you with everything from search to social. Contact Dex Media, that's DEX Media, to get found, get chosen, and get talked about.
Whoa, that's a job for cleanup, which would be me.
Call 844-230-3436 or visit dexmedia.com today.
Hey, Mom, how'd you like to forget having to work like crazy just to make someone else rich? Earn great money from home so you can have the freedom to be the mom you want to be.
I'm a single mom, and when I found this opportunity, I was able to make $1,200 part-time my first month, fire my boss, and now work from home full-time around my kids.
Get free information from the Moms Business Network today. Just go to income16.com to learn how. Income16.com. You can start earning great money as soon as next week. Income16.com.
And now it's time for another Support San Bernardino Spotlight.
Hi, my name is George Hahn. I am the Senior Minister at the Center for Spiritual Living Inland Empire. In the next few weeks, we would like to support San Bernardino by highlighting the outstanding things about our city. Today's program features Dennis Baxter from Habitat for Humanity.
Thank you, George. I'm very proud that Habitat for Humanity San Bernardino area has been serving the residents of the area since 1992, so that's 24 years of building homes and building hope. Each partner family participates in our own curriculum in the greater San Bernardino area that provides guidance and resources to a successful long-term experience as being a homeowner. We have financial literacy classes that they go through so they understand the difference between being a homeowner and being a renter. Our Brush with Kindness program helps out low-income folks with, simple chores around the house. And, of course, our Restore, located in Redlands, is a real part of our fundraising effort. So it's building homes, it's building hope. Folks can give us a call at 909-478-1176 or habitatsb.org.
This program was underwritten by Center for Spiritual Living Inland Empire. If you would like information about today's program, please contact me, Reverend George, by calling 909-883-7171. That's 909-883-7171.
KCAA AM 1050 and 106.5 is proud to announce that we are a collection station for Random Act of Kindness, an annual toy drive coordinated by Music Changing Lives in Redlands. This year, Random Act of Kindness is in special need of gifts for teens, such as electronics, music instruments, bicycles, remote control vehicles, and shoes. Smaller ticket items include books, board games, jewelry, and DVDs. Clothing items are always in need as well, and if you'd rather give cash donations, please call Josiah Bruni at 951-992-0721. Random Act of Kindness will be distributing toys to over 3,000 kids this year in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. Please come by KCAA at the Carousel Mall, Suite 254, and drop off your gift from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. For more information or to help distribute toys, call 951-992-0721. 955-992-0721.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
Sent a call to make sure I'm prepared. You said winter love spreading.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. Continuing our discussion about San Bernardino. There's been this ongoing issue since the plan of adjustment was filed last May.
Yes.
So it's been many months, 6 months since then, that about outsourcing the fire department as a way of making ends meet here in the city. And of course, the fire department, the fire union sued. And not
Multiple
the department,
times.
but the fire union sued, which they were in the practice of doing anyway. That's
Yes.
part of the reason why it kind of got to the point of them saying we have to cut the fire department loose because all they do is sue the city.
Yeah.
I mean, they fight fires too, but I mean the union. So an appeals court once again ruled against the San Bernardino City professional firefighters and in favor of the city Tuesday, affirming U.S. bankruptcy judge Meredith Jury's conclusion that nothing in the city charter or state law prevents the city from outsourcing its fire department. In the same ruling, Otis D. Wright II also found that the state law does not prevent the city from outsourcing fire services to a private entity, which the city had consider doing. Having the county take over responsibilities for fire and emergency protection is now a key part of the bankruptcy exit plan, officials say. The financial impact is still debated, but the city's consultants, management partners, say it will add about $11 million to the city's bottom line, with $8 million of that coming from a parcel tax that would be implemented as part of the shift. In the opinion, the opinion by Judge Otis D. Wright affirms an important part of our recovery plan, says City Attorney Gary Sines. The 19-page opinion agrees with jury's ruling in July that the city could move forward with outsourcing fire services to a fire protection district, despite language in the city charter setting out how a fire department would be run. The court agrees with the bankruptcy court's determination that the city charter section simply empowers the city to establish a fire department. It does not require the city to create a fire department, let alone a fire department staffed by city employees.
Wow.
What do you think?
I agree. I mean, this has been one of those interesting aspects of the city charter and the unions sort of back and forth, and I'm glad it's finally come to a close. I think they needed this kind of clear, unequivocal statement that says this is what the charter means, and this is how you can proceed. Now, one of the interesting parts here, and I'll just read this from the article, says the court, on the other hand, concludes that because sections 180 through 186 only govern the operation of an internal fire department once created, those sections simply do not apply if the city chooses to outsource firefighting services. Now, why is that important?
It affects their pay.
It affects their pay because Charter Section 186 says that the city doesn't negotiate fire pay, that basically it's based on a formula. And that was one of the drivers of the city's inane budget problems, that they had no control over what they were paying their firefighters or what they were paying their police officers because it was based on this formula. Now, because you're outsourcing the fire department, you don't have to worry about that. The pay is actually handled by the county, and you negotiate with the county what you're going to pay for your fire services. And so Charter Section 186, which was such a thorn for the city, at least now for the fire department, is a non-issue.
Right. It's still there for the police department.
Yeah, and this ruling, I think, if you're in the police union, this now, I think, puts a lot of pressure on the police union to be more open to negotiating. And I say pressure. The police union has been more open in the past.
They've been working with the city.
But certainly this has got to make them think that, hey, if we go down that same path that the fire union did, where we're suing for everything and we're constantly being that aggressive, that the city may do the same thing and outsource the police department. And so this ruling, I think, puts the city leadership in the catbird seat in terms of being able to fix some of these long-term labor issues that were created by a charter that frankly makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
It kind of reminds me of, in the 70s when we had stagflation, I remember there being a lot of strikes. And in some of those, mostly with private unions, some of those strikes, the plants were just shut down.
Yeah.
That just, okay, we can't come to a working agreement, then we're going to shut this plant down.
Well, we saw the same thing happen not too long ago with some of these grocery stores. What was the big chain that had massive strikes?
That's right.
And they survived.
It was basically everybody but Stater Brothers.
Yeah, and then a bunch of those chains that were in the Southland ended up going out of business. They were on strike for a long time. They finally settled it, and then they ended up selling off those stores. And now those chains are gone, and what we have instead are a lot of these Spanish stores took over.
Yes,
I've seen a couple of those.
The Cardenas markets and the others, and that speaks to two different things. One, the demographic shift in our region, but also that you reach a point where what the labor unions want is unsustainable.
Yeah.
And we've seen it with teachers unions have gone on strike.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of years. Like, I think it was in the 70s or 80s when Rialto went on strike the last time.
Yeah.
And those are it's I understand labor's desire to do what labor wants to do, but you can't give away what you don't have.
Yeah.
I mean, I do understand, fighting for the living wage, fighting for, the benefits, and I get that. I do understand it. However, you can't give what you don't have.
There's a balancing act, and unfortunately, a lot of times the trust breaks down, and people don't trust the numbers they're being given. And so when you assume,
and sometimes that trust is earned.
Yeah,
that lack of trust is earned.
I agree. But that makes it so much harder because if you don't have a good set of foundational numbers that everyone can agree on, then it becomes almost impossible to come up with fair resolutions to these problems.
So does San Bernardino, we've talked about this before, but to kind of close this discussion in the next couple minutes, does San Bernardino get over its charter difficulties without changing the charter, or is the charter going to have to be changed for the tenor of the city to really shift?
I don't know. I have never been a big fan of the let's scrap the whole charter or try to make these massive changes to the charter. I'm much more sort of interested in sort of tinkering with the edges with some of these things. Mm-hmm. I think it's hard to get the wholesale change, and we've seen it. Every time we've tried to do a big change, the voters have shot it down. And it's usually been the more minor ones where people said, yeah, okay, I can see that. And I think that you have to kind of make those specific arguments. I don't know. I think that this legal ruling here, allowing them to outsource the fire department, is a big step, like I said, to fixing the 186 problem. If the police officers or union is going to play ball going forward, then 186 is no longer an issue on the table, or shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm not so sure we need the big change. We have some friends, though, that are on the charter committee that are talking about some fairly big changes. They've got to make the case.
I think that the model of the city, the strong mayor and strong city manager, doesn't work. Yeah. I like the idea of a mayor who's a figurehead and a city manager who actually runs the city. And I say this not that the mayor's incompetent, because I don't believe that he is, but you want a professional running a city this size, somebody who has training and experience running cities. That's what he does, or she does.
Yeah, it's been challenging, and my only concern with that is our ability to get that quote unquote good professional person at the top. I've seen some decent people come and go, but I've also had my questions, and I think that's been part of the challenge. Is again, you've got to have that level of trust that the people you're getting are going to be quality people. And it's a challenge in this environment.
It is. And with that, it's 6:30. It's time for another break. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on Kcaa AM 1050 and FM 106.5. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting more local radio programs than any other station in California, we are KCAA.
Here's the latest. I'm Angela Anderson. A new CNN ORC poll out today shows Donald Trump continuing to lead the field of Republican presidential hopefuls. Poll results aside, Jeb Bush says Trump is a good politician, but not a leader.
Has said continually to say things that's going to make it harder for the party's nominee, whoever that's going to be, to win.
Bush on Fox News, Fox and Friends. Trump polling at 39%, more than twice the share of his closest competitor, Senator Ted Cruz. The woman accused of slamming her car into a crowd on the Las Vegas Strip, now charged with murder. Lakeisha Holloway is accused of killing one person and injuring dozens when she intentionally drove onto a sidewalk on the Strip Sunday night. A man who was buried under a landslide for nearly 3 days in China, recovering after rescue crews pulled him out. The 21-year-old found 67 hours after the landslide, only minor injuries. You're listening to the latest from 24/7 News. Just in time for the holiday travel rush, a change in airport security policy. TSA screeners can now force travelers to go through body scanners. Homeland Security says the policy will allow passengers to request a physical screening instead. One of the biggest travel days of the year, and weather may cause a problem.
Rolling storm system will quickly move from the southern plains toward the Great Lakes today, and that could touch off severe storms anywhere from the Gulf Coast into the Big Lakes. The greatest chance for storms packing a wallop and a few tornadoes is from Arkansas up through Mississippi and Tennessee into the mid-Ohio Valley. Forecasters are also painting a risk of flooding from the Gulf Coast into Virginia. Out west, heavy snow could drape parts of the Intermountain West, mainly across the higher elevations in Utah, Wyoming, and Idaho. You'll be hard-pressed to find an entirely dry day today across most of the country. Mark Woolsey, Atlanta.
Mortgage applications are up after the Fed raised interest rates for the first time in nearly a decade. Refinances are the big driver, jumping 11%. I'm Angela Anderson.
For your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report, I'm Erin Brinker. In San Diego, we have an off-ramp blocked on the 15 southbound at Rainbow Valley Boulevard. A conked-out big rig has slowed traffic from Ranch California Road. In Riverside, there's an accident. The left lane is blocked on the 215 northbound after Box Springs Box Springs Road, Fair Isle Drive. A wreck has been moved to the right shoulder. The drive remains slow from Cactus. In Corona, slow traffic on the 91 westbound between the 15 and Green River Road. The 71 south is busy between Euclid and the 91. And finally, in the Cajon Pass, there is slow traffic on the 15 southbound between Oak Hill Road and Highway 138. This has been your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Ron Pritchard. For this morning, we've got mostly sunny skies and a high near 63. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low near 43. Thursday, partly sunny with a high near 58. Christmas Eve, Thursday night, showers likely. Mostly cloudy skies, a low near 43. Christmas Day, chance of showers, mostly sunny, a high near 52. Friday night, mostly clear, low near 36. Saturday, sunny with a high near 53. Saturday night, mostly clear with a low near 37. Sunday, sunny and a high near 57. Sunday night, partly cloudy, a low near 40. Monday, mostly sunny with a high near 58. That's your weather forecast for this hour from KCAA 106.5 FM and 1050 AM, the stations that leave no listener behind.
Hi, it's Dave Collins in Snow Country. Once again, we're in a winter pattern that seems to bring snow to us every single day at some of the nearby mountains. It will be breezy today if you're headed out locally, so try to bundle up and also call ahead to make sure the lifts are running. Mountain High with 9 trails right now, that's 15% of their terrain. 20 runs open for you at Snow Summit as they picked up a couple of inches just the other day. They've got 12 lifts to take you to the top of the mountain. 17 trails on a mostly packed powder surface at Bear Mountain. Mammoth Mountain with almost 3 feet of snowfall out of this latest storm, and they could see some more snowflakes flying today. They got 100% of their terrain open. That's 3,500 acres, 150 trails for you to explore at Mammoth. Sugar Bowl, just about the same, almost 4 feet of snow in the past 5 days. 60% of their terrain is open. That's over 60 runs. 55 trails on a fresh powder surface at Mount Bachelor in Oregon. June with a couple of inches over the past few days. They're up to over 30 runs. China Peak with almost 2 feet in the past 3 days. They've got 84% of their terrain open. More at snowcountry.com. I'm Dave Collins on KCAA 1050 AM and the all-new 106.5 FM, the stations that leave no listener behind.
Missed something today, yesterday, last week? Check out our podcasts at www.kcaaradio.com. We leave no listener behind.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. Now I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. Yeah, I think that Michael Bublé gives Burl Ives, isn't he the one who did the original, a run for his money? This is really a nice version of this song.
Yeah, it is.
So I love Christmas. Okay, so the biggest, I think, not the biggest, there's been so many big stories. One of the biggest stories of the year for the last 4 years here in the state of California has been the drought. And of course, this year they actually did emergency measures statewide, all of the rationing of water and that sort of thing, which probably should have...
Major cuts, 25%,
36%. And in many places, those cuts were actually exceeded. The reductions were actually exceeded. This year has been, for lack of a better word, a watershed year. So Lake Tahoe was flooded with 6.4, when I say this year, I mean this season, like right now, with 6.4 billion gallons of water in 24 hours.
Wait. You did not say that right. 6.4 billion.
Billions, because I'm Carl Sagan. More than 6 billion gallons of water have poured into Lake Tahoe in less than 2 days, helping the lake begin to recover from its 4 years of crushing drought. Since midnight Monday, the lake has gone up 1.92 inches, the equivalent of 6.39 billion gallons of water, according to the National Weather Service. The water comes as a winter storm slams the Sierra, bringing several feet of snow to higher elevations and rain at lake level, which sits roughly at 6,200 feet. The lake, the second deepest in the United States, behind Oregon's Crater Lake, was hit hard this year by the drought. Over the summer, the lake was shockingly low. Many boaters were unable to get their crafts into the lake after waters pulled back from most boat launches. And there's a picture in this article in Esquire of people, where there's docks.
And they're walking
and
on
they're
the
just
dry
walking
land.
on the dry land where these docks are.
Yeah.
And it's been very low. And you think of that snowpack, that Sierra snowpack is critical to the water supply here in the state of California.
Yeah. So I actually pulled up the snow conditions for California, and at Squaw Valley they have 80 inches. That's like 7.5 feet.
Yes.
6.5 feet. That's a
a lot
high.
of snow.
At Tahoe, 65 inches of snow that's on the ground. And in this last the last snowfall, they brought 22 inches. 36 inches. It's 2 to 3 feet of snow.
So 65 inches is 1 inch shorter than I am.
Yeah.
That's 5 feet 5.
Yeah.
So that's wow.
Yeah, exactly. So they're getting some serious snow up in Northern California. We do have some snow down here. So for instance, at Bear Mountain, there's 36 inches of snow on the ground, and their last snowfall brought 4 inches back on December 19th. So, we do have some snow on the ground here. In Southern California, but Northern California is really where they're looking for it, right? I mean, that's where it's needed because that's what feeds into our water system primarily.
Yes, and the Press Enterprise also has an article that the California snowpack measures an encouraging 111% of normal.
Ooh.
It's far too early to declare an end to California's historic drought, but the state snowpack now measures an encouraging 111% of normal for this time of the year, state water officials say. California gets about half of its water in December, January, and February, so we're about a third of the way into the season. Department of Water Resources spokesman Doug Carlson said on Tuesday, "We'd be pleased to have this level in a non-drought year. By comparison, the snowpack measured only 56% of normal this time last year, department records show. In 2013, the situation was even worse at 24%. So Tuesday's tally is a good start, but it's only a start. Because the reservoir levels are so extraordinarily low, we'd have to have a lot more rain and snowfall to have an impact on the drought," he emphasized. "One wet winter is probably not going to do it for us, and we can't make good, solid predictions based on what's fallen so far. If the above-average snowfall continues until April 1st, he said, state water experts will feel more optimistic, but there are no guarantees." And here's the thing. I mean, we've put in some sane water policy, and we need to continue with that. The reality is, especially in Southern California, that it's a Mediterranean along the coast, desert along, in the inland areas. And so we need to be mindful of what we're using. Use reclaimed water on golf courses and mowing and watering your lawns. Capture rainwater if your city and your area allows you to do it.
So one of the slower things that's occurring, but I think will have the biggest long-term effect, is you're seeing a lot of people who are switching out their lawns. And we've seen some friends and people who've done this, who've taken out
my brother did it. His front yard looks gorgeous.
Yeah, right. And they've taken out the grass, replaced it with water-wise plants and rocks and other sort of landscape that's beautiful, but also conserves water. And I think you're going to see that happening more and more. And as that does, long term, that will have an effect. But it's a slow process.
It is, and it's expensive to be able to do it right, and not everybody has the money to do that.
Yeah.
But you don't have to have a lush green lawn in everybody's front yard.
Yeah.
Grow food, grow something else. At least put that space to work, because grass really doesn't do anything except it looks nice.
I was thinking about putting in a little rice paddy so we could grow some rice.
Okay, not rice. That's a monsoon crop.
I know. I'm teasing.
Use almonds. That's smart.
I'm teasing.
There are trees, and trees do a lot of things. I mean, I'm a big fan of trees. Yeah. They can provide shade. They can help with soil erosion. They help clean out the air. They lower the greenhouse, that heat island effect. Trees are good. Yeah. And so, but you have to plant the right trees that are made for this climate. I mean, that's kind of 101 when it comes to planting your yard.
Yeah, and we haven't heard much about this, but didn't they just open that desalinization plant as well down in San Diego?
You know what? We need to do some research, but I know that they were on track to be opened up around now.
Yeah, and so I think that that's another sort of kind of thing. We'll see how that works, but if they're able to take ocean water and get rid of the salt and turn it into usable water for folks, I think that that's another long-term solution. So I mean, I think we're doing some smart things that hopefully for the future we won't have quite the water insecurity that we're experiencing now.
So, one of the things that this article also cautions against, again, it's in the Press Enterprise, is saying, oh, the El Niño's here, we don't have to worry. And we've, there's been all of this hype, and the media does this. They hype that the sky is falling because we're having an El Niño. First of all, it may not wallop us like we're fearing it will.
Yeah.
Because there have been El Niños in the past that have been very severe, and others that haven't.
Yeah.
And so this one may not be as horrific as or as hyped up as we've been led to believe, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's going to be awful. And so we can't just say, okay, we don't have to worry about it. We don't need to ration anymore. We don't need to be responsible anymore.
Yeah.
Because the reality is that where we live is we're going to go through lean years when it comes to water, and we're going to go through years where we have a lot of it.
So I have to give this little basic PSA, this little public service announcement for people. When it's raining outside, you can turn your sprinklers off.
Yes,
right?
That's a great idea.
Because you see it every year. And what it is people have their sprinklers set on these timers, and then they just forget, and the sprinklers are going, the rain's coming down. It's like, seriously?
You can turn them off for 2 days.
Yeah.
48 hours with no sprinklers after
right?
it rains.
And especially like big places, like these big industrial places that have water like that.
Yes.
Someone who's in charge of that has got to be on the ball because so much water gets wasted. I just go crazy when I see sprinklers on in the rain.
In the rain, exactly.
Right?
It's like, no. The sprinkling is being handled. Save your...
Yeah.
It's like somebody's giving you a gift and you spend the money to buy it anyway.
Exactly.
Seriously. So, turn the sprinklers off. Turn the sprinklers off. Well, it's time for a break. It's 6:44. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5. We'll be right back.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Do you know where you are? Well, you've done it now. You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station. So expect the unexpected.
As the owner of my business, I wear a lot of hats. I'm accounting, sales, and so much more. But I don't know marketing.
Let Dex Media be your marketing department. Our team can create a digital plan for you with everything from search to social. Contact Dex Media, that's DEX Media, to get found, get chosen, and get talked about.
Whoa, that's a job for cleanup, which would be me.
Call 844-230-3436 or visit dexmedia.com today.
Hi, this is Steve Alador from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute. With property values increasing, this might be the perfect time to do a loan checkup to see if it makes sense to refinance. Do you have an equity line? If your equity line is getting close to 10 years old, your payment is about to fully amortize. Coupled with the certainty that the feds will soon increase short-term rates, there might be a substantial jump in payment on your line of credit. If we combine your current loan, equity line, and possibly even some of your credit debt, there could be a substantial reduction in what you have to pay each month. Do you have VA eligibility? VA will allow 100% cash-out financing. This may be a perfect time to use your eligibility. We can go 85% cash out with FHA or 80% with a standard conventional loan. There are many possible options that could make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner to provide you with all of your possible options. Give me a call, Steve Alador, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070, or go to loanfinancialplanner.com.
Are you looking for the right place to purchase your landscaping items? Well, come see us at Hydroscape. Hydroscape offers a large selection of irrigation products including Irritrol and Toro, such as their efficient precision nozzles. For 40 years, Hydroscape has been family-owned and operated, serving Southern California. With 17 locations, our knowledgeable and experienced staff is equipped to help you with all your irrigation, landscape, and outdoor living projects. Whether you're installing irrigation systems, wanting to maintain a healthy landscape, or simply create a beautiful lit space for outdoor entertaining, Hydroscape is the place to go. Visit our website at hydroscape.com for more information and find helpful articles on our blog. Or call our customer service center at 1-800-395-4477.
For those of you traveling by air to celebrate this holiday season, LA Ontario International Airport wants you and your family to have a fun and safe trip. For your convenience,
remember TSA travel rules are for your safety and those of others. LA Ontario International Airport reminds you to arrive early and check with your airlines for flight delays or cancellations.
ONT offers 62 daily flights to 15 nonstop western cities. This year, Santa brings your airport the Pause Pet Assisting with Smiles stress relief program. So, make sure to stop and pause a while, then sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight. For more airport information, please visit us at lawa.org.
KCAA AM 1050 and 106.5 is proud to announce that we are a collection station for Random Act of Kindness, an annual toy drive coordinated by Music Changing Lives in Redlands. This year, Random Act of Kindness is in special need of gifts for teens, such as electronics, music instruments, bicycles, remote control vehicles, and shoes. Smaller ticket items include books, board games, jewelry, and DVDs. Clothing items are always in need as well, and if you'd rather give cash donations, please call Josiah Bruni at 951-992-0721. Random Act of Kindness will be distributing toys to over 3,000 kids this year in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. Please come by KCAA at the Carousel Mall, Suite 254, and drop off your gift from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. For more information or to help distribute toys, call 951-992-0721. 955-992-0721.
This is KCAA.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my...
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050 and FM 106.5. So I feel for this guy. I've got to talk about him. A guy with $170,000 in student loans who can't find a job in the legal profession is suing his law school and working full-time for Uber. Clark Moffitt, who's 35, says he dreamed of a career in criminal justice when he graduated from San Diego's Thomas Jefferson School of Law in 2006. But since graduating, he says he's never held a job in the legal profession or earned more than $25,000 a year. He lives in a rented mobile home and receives food stamps to provide for his wife and 2 children. It's both frustrating and, to a degree, humiliating, Moffitt told Business Insider in a recent phone interview. Moffitt is one of 12 former TJSL students now suing the law school, which they claim intentionally inflated post-graduation employment figures and salaries in order to lure applicants. 4 former students filed a lawsuit against the school in 2011, and Clark is one of another 8 plaintiffs who filed separate suits against the school in 2014. The case filed in 2011 is scheduled to go on trial this next year. So this is the situation. The Thomas Jefferson School of Law is actually a for-profit law school. So we've talked about the for-profit industry, which was at the Everest College, the Corinthian colleges that went under, and there's been several others. What they're alleging, what Moffitt is alleging, is that the school engaged in, they lied, basically. They hyperinflated employment figures, counting people that, saying that 90% of their graduates were employed. What they didn't say was they were employed in the legal field. So they counted people who are working at Starbucks as having, being employed, which is ridiculous.
Lawyers parsing their words.
I know, right? So, yeah, and he is not. He graduated from undergraduate with a very high GPA and was going to go to Baylor Law School, but chose Thomas Jefferson because it was in San Diego. They really courted him. They, made it sound really wonderful, et cetera, and has found himself these years later not being able to make ends meet.
So the courts have traditionally kind of poo-pooed these kind of lawsuits and have kicked him out. And this one is one of the few that's kind of going forward. But interestingly, the judge denied them the
class action
status, which is why Moffitt and this other group had to do the second lawsuit. So the original 4 people tried to get class action lawsuits so it could apply to everybody who went there. Judge said no. So now the individual people have to sue on their own. And
the judge's reasoning is that by the time you get to law school, you should be a savvy consumer of education, right?
Yeah.
And you should have the ability to do the research to, you really weren't, it's really not their fault. Well, however, if he can prove that they specifically lied about things like your bar passage rate or employment rate after graduation or that sort of thing, then he will get some compensation.
So here's where it gets a real kind of dicey. I don't think that you can hold them accountable for whether you got a job or not. I mean, I think that getting a job is a very sort of individualized thing.
I disagree, but go ahead.
But I think the fact that he's been unable to pass the bar, and I think that if he can show that he was given a substandard education and that they didn't provide the resources and the things that generally would be considered necessary for someone to be able to pass the bar, that then becomes the factor to say, hey, look, you really did cheat me out of my education. You charged me all this money, and I didn't get the product that you promised. I don't think that you can say at the end of the day, though, that you're guaranteed a job in a law firm, even at a 90% rate, if that's what they're putting out there, because every person is a different person. And so I think that, there's a lot of factors there.
Indeed. Now, the bar, I think not being able to pass the bar is a big deal. I mean, let's be honest. What do law schools train you to do? They train you to think and to write and to research.
Yeah.
But they also train you to take that test and pass it.
Yeah.
And so if that's not happening, that should be the red flag.
Yeah.
The article makes it sound like he took the bar once and gave up. There are many, many, many people who have to take that exam multiple times.
So this guy actually, in the article they mentioned he took it twice. Once
well,
in
he
California,
took one in Texas and one in California.
Yeah.
But they're separate tests. They're different
They are.
tests, and you can't expect a CBA accredited law school to prepare you for the Texas bar exam.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, yeah.
I'm going to be really interested to follow this case because I think that when you get down to the nitty-gritty, when you start looking at the specifics, everything this school does is going to be put under the microscope. They're going to be looking at the credentials of their instructors. They're going to be looking at the content of the courses that were offered. They're going to be they're going to really, really have to look deeply at this stuff. But also, Moffitt's life is going to be put under the microscope because the counter-arguments are all going to say that, hey, look, we provided everything for you. It really was just you as an individual.
Right.
So what did you do? What were you doing to prepare yourself for the bar exam? Did you have a drinking problem? Were you out drinking every night? Did
Right.
you put the requisite time and energy into it? You know what I'm saying?
Did you, and here's the thing that, I think I've thought about our own lives. When I was first getting into the nonprofit world, when I, the nonprofit company or this consulting company that I had, when I was getting my first clients, I volunteered until they were hired. Till they hired me, because I said, you know what, you all don't know me, but I know I can do good work, and let me write a couple grants for you, and as a volunteer, because I believe in what you're doing. And then, sure enough, I was hired, and then then I was on my way. I mean, I don't know that maybe he should have spent some time, volunteering at a law firm or working as a clerk in a law firm, or something where he's around that environment. I don't know. He may have done all of those things, and this article doesn't say, but I think all of that will come into question. If you really wanted a legal job in the legal profession, why were you working anywhere else?
Exactly. And I think this is why this case is problematic. I think that's why the judge didn't automatically give them the status, so that everyone, the class action status, because again, each individual person is going to be so different. And I think that, the argument that they are fairly savvy, educated people by this point,
Now, he does say, this article does say that he is Moffat is the primary caregiver for his children, and his wife has terminal cancer, which is, maybe that's why he couldn't volunteer. Maybe that's why he, took whatever job he could get. There's all kinds of reasons that he made the decisions that he made.
Yeah.
And I disagree with you that it's not this law school's responsibility to ensure that you get a job. But if you're selling what you do as we help you get a job, and then you don't do that, then that's just fraud.
Yeah.
I mean, that's if that's not what you're doing, then don't say it's what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think the bar passage rate is, and you can look that up. There's actually, you can look up the different law schools'
and the
bar passage rates. You could also look at universities' default rates, which is their federal loan default rates. How many of their students are defaulting on paying back those student loans? Which will give you a good indication of how much money they're making or not making.
Yeah.
And that matters.
Well, and maybe that's what the pressure is on this law school, is that they don't want the negative attention that this brings, that this might have an adverse effect on their ability to continue operating. And so maybe they settle this. Maybe they make this go away by offering these guys some money. I
don't know. It's already out there.
I know.
It's already out there.
I know.
And, if they've sullied the name of Thomas Jefferson, I'm going to be really upset.
Right? Thomas Jefferson in San Diego.
In San Diego, right? Picturing Thomas Jefferson relaxing on the beach.
With a Mai Tai.
With a Mai Tai. Or playing Over the Line, or going to SeaWorld, or, Okay. Yeah, again, it'll be lots of people have student loans. Lots of people have student loans that are a lot of money, and not everybody, there are people out there who spend tens of thousands of dollars on getting a master's in fine arts, for example, and don't have the expectation that they'll get a high-paying career when they're done.
Yeah.
So that in and of itself is not indicative of the value of the education necessarily. But I agree with you that the bar passage rate is very important.
Yeah.
So we are out of time. It's 6:59. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
To think about, who am I? We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050 and FM 106.5. Have a great day, everyone.
The weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Doesn't show signs of stopping. And I brought some corn.
This is KCAA Loma Linda. CNBC News is next. Brought to you by BuySellMakeOffer.com. Go there now and join the thousands who have already signed up for a new and exciting way to buy and sell online, launching January 15th.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. It's the last full day of trading before Christmas. The markets will close early tomorrow to let traders get home to their families for the holidays. But today it looks like we're set to open higher as oil prices continue to rebound. Also helping, a rise in consumer spending. It was up 0.3% last month as Americans began their buying for the holidays right at the start of the official Christmas shopping season. Durable goods orders were unchanged in November. They were expected to decline, and personal income rose 0.3%. If you've purchased an 8-ounce box of Zatarain's Red Beans and Rice Original, you may find they contain the wrong product. The company has issued a recall because some packages could actually contain creamy Parmesan rice mix, which could cause an allergic reaction in people with dairy sensitivities. Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio.
When I think of all the great deals I could get at Happy Honda Days, it's like,
I'm a beautiful princess, so I'm in my chariot so I can ride out the ball in style.
Then I hear it's a KBB.com best value brand, and I'm all,
a princess still appreciates a good deal once she gets one.
Joyous deals for every side of you. Hurry into the Happy Honda Day sales event now. Well-qualified buyers can get 0.9% APR on the 2016 Odyssey at your Honda dealer.
Based on 2015 Brand Image Awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information. See dealer for financing details.
If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish and see what real value is. Call 877-319-6988. You can also save a bundle when you combine DishNet high-speed internet with your TV service. Call 877-319-6988. Programming starting as little as $29.99, plus access to thousands of movies and TV shows. Stream to your TV, smartphone, or tablet. Call 877-319-6988. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get...
Hey folks, Pat Matthews here to tell you about the newest and best way to sell products online. Maybe you've heard me talk about BuySellMakeOffer.com on my internet radio station, BeatlesArama.com. Well, I'm here to fill you in on this enormously revolutionary way to sell your products online. You just need to forget about the way the other guys have taken more than their share from you when the sales were finalized. Look, it's happened to me over and over, and then I found BuySellMakeOffer.com. They never charge you item fees. We just need your email address so we can let you know well in advance of the launch when you can load all your stuff to our server to sell. This is not an auction site. Just think of it as Craigslist on steroids. Using our resources along with Skype and videos, you just add your creativity to sell your items quickly and with no fees. Go right now to BuySellMakeOffer.com and sign up. The excitement is building toward our January 15th launch date. I've signed up to sell my stuff with BuySellMakeOffer.com. You should too. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
It's time for your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker. In Riverside, there's an accident. The shoulder is blocked on the 215 northbound after Box Springs Road, Fair Isle Drive. A wreck has been moved to the right shoulder. The drive remains slow from Cactus. The 60 West is busy from Pigeon Pass to the 215. In Corona, slow traffic on the 91 westbound between Grand Boulevard and Auto Center/Surface Club Drive. The 71 south is busy between Euclid Avenue and the 91. In Ontario, slow traffic on the 15 northbound between Highway 60 and Harupa Street. And finally, in the Cajon Pass, slow traffic on the 15 southbound between Oak Hill Road and Highway 138. This has been your KCAA AM 1050 and FM 106.5 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker.
This report has been brought to you by Compassion International. Every child deserves enough. That's what you can give to a child in poverty when you sponsor through Compassion International. Find out how at compassion.com/radio.
With your Wednesday news, I'm Jim Miller. CNBC News, KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listener behind. And some changes in the city manager's office coming. The city council approving Police Chief Jared Bargwan's temporary appointment as interim city manager. He succeeds Alan Parker, who's resigning effective December 31st and taking a year's severance pay. Chief Bargwan's tenure as interim city manager will last only until February 8th, when Mark Scott takes over under a one-year contract approved by the city council. Two more lawsuits totaling 21 plaintiffs alleging systematic abuse at the hands of San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies at the West Valley Detention Center in Rancho Cucamonga have been filed in federal court in Riverside. Victorville attorneys Stanley Hodge, Jim Terrell, and Sharon Brunner filed the lawsuits December 10. One lawsuit names inmate David Smith, charged with first-degree murder in the 2008 execution-style slayings of a teen couple at an abandoned Air Force bunker near Barstow as the sole plaintiff. The other lawsuit lists 20 inmates as plaintiffs. Holiday travel this year. Millions of Southern Californians will be on the move between now and January 4. A record-breaking 7.6 million Southern Californians traveling 50 miles or more, the largest number of local holiday travelers this century. This marks the 7th consecutive year of growth for end-of-year holiday travel. Two of San Bernardino's top officials were at Staples Center in Los Angeles last night. They took part in a ceremony on the ice as the Kings battled the San Jose Sharks. San Bernardino Mayor Kerry Davis and Police Chief Jared Bargwan were highlighted as part of our Heroes of the Game salute on the ice prior to the national anthem. That's your news. I'm Jim Miller, CNBC, KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
KCAA is your CNBC News affiliate. We're the station that gets down to business.
He has been a professional money manager for the last 18 years. He is a regular contributor to the Fox Business Channel and Bloomberg Radio. In addition to this, he is a regular contributor to TheStreet.com and MarketWatch.com. Now he's live here on the Wall Street Business Network. Here is Bill Gunderson.